Alright, so we're doing the Latissimus dorsi right now. And I actually already did it. And part of that is it took me forever to model it. If it was clay, it literally takes 10 minutes. I don't even know why it takes 10 minutes. Probably just less than that. In clay, what you do is you roll out a thin piece of clay, cut it like a triangle. This, you can see how this kind of looks like a triangle, and then you lay it on the back in a certain way, and it covers all these forms, and you press it down on so that these forms show up underneath it. And you can't really do that with the 3D modeling. I'm sure there's a technique in one of the other modeling apps where it'll cling to, you could do something like that, but I don't know of it. So I went ahead and modeled this so it would fit in there. And the other thing is it goes underneath the trapezius. I guess I did the trapezius before it, because I was thinking of the trapezius as a shoulder muscle, and we were doing shoulders. So anyway, but that's not a big problem. You can see the trapezius, we could take that off. And you can see how the latissimus crosses over the teres major. So we'll take the trapezius away. So let me talk about the latissimus. Now maybe we could paint it. So latissimus, it attaches to the spine. Its attachment is pretty broad. It's I guess the origin. Let me see. Maybe I always get this backwards. So one attachment is that it goes down the spine, sacrum, comes up on the crest of the pelvis, and it connects to the ribs down at the bottom. So it's got all of this attachment right here, and it's got one insertion point, and that's right up here. And what it does is that muscle, the muscle fibers all come from the spine and move up to this one point. And it's a very thin sheet, but as you can see, it's spiraling. So that thin sheet on the edge becomes, it's like the trapezius, where since it's rolling over on itself, it becomes very thick, like a cable over here. And it's holding that teres major like a sling. So it comes over that at the bottom of it. So it's kind of holding the scapula in place. On some people, the scapula pops out. I remember my teacher saying that that was a problem for some people. I don't know that that's true or not. But it helps you remember that this does cross over the bottom of the scapula, goes over the middle of the teres major, comes over, and then it kind of slings over around. And it's just holding that in, and everything spirals up into that place. And so what happens is, so what you can see is what I tried to do is we see the teres major form right here. We see the serratus showing up through there. We see the erector spinae muscle, the large form, the lateral form, I guess you could say, shows up right there. We have the medial form of the erector spinae shows up. And then along this edge right here, it's thick. The form is thick. So it's like its own cable that goes there because it's spiraling on itself, and it's rolling on itself, so it becomes very thick here. The rest of it's more of a thin sheet. So if you're looking at a bodybuilder, this area gets really full. So you would just kind of add more to that area right here. And then one more thing is right underneath this space right here is the rib cage. So you can see the ribs show through in that area right there. And that's probably not, that could be illustrated in a different way, I don't know. So erector ES, serratus, ribs. All right, that's what you can see. Now I'm going to pull this out. Let's put this back over. So that you can see that it's just a thin kind of triangular form that goes over all those forms. You can see the forms. If that helps. So as far as you making one, if you're making one, it took a little while to make it. You know, I don't know of an easy way to do it. Like in actual clay, very quick to do. 3D modeling, just a little bit more difficult to do. So hopefully that helps you see that a little bit. And something I wanted to mention before, as you're saving this, the easiest way to save this so that it doesn't get lost is export all, save it as an SGL file. Maybe you're already doing that, but if you save it as an SGL, it doesn't have a problem saving SGLs. It has a problem saving an OBJ when it gets this loaded. All right.